how to calculate shear force and bending moments in case of statically determinate structures, or I think indeterminate structures also you have studied in your structural analysis. Okay, स्टॅटिकली डिटर्मिनेट्स कशाला म्हणायचं, स्टॅटिकली इंडिटर्मिनेट्स कशाला म्हणायचं. ओके, स्टॅटिकली डिटर्मिनेट स्ट्रक्चर्स और बीम्स मीन्स द बीम्स which can be analyzed by using available equilibrium equations. Okay, and example of statically determinate beams are cantilever beam, your simply supported beam, okay, even overhang beams. So these three beams are statically determinates. Okay, and the beams which cannot be analyzed by using the available equilibrium equations, okay, that beam is called as a statically indeterminate beams. Okay, so to analyze that beams we have to assume some compatibility conditions. Okay, like your prop cantilevers. Okay, prop cantilever is statically indeterminate structures. Okay, your fixed beam, continuous beam. Okay, so fixed beam, continuous beam, prop cantilever, your portal frames, these are statically indeterminate structures. Okay, so when beam is subjected to vertical loads, the shear force comes into picture, bending moments comes into picture, and third is the deflections comes into pictures. Deflection. So we have to be very careful about these three different criteria. Okay, when you are going to analysis part is okay. Okay, we are familiar how to calculate shear force, how to calculate bending moments, how to calculate even deflections. Okay, for deflections various methods you have studied, like your Metallage method, double integration methods, conjugate beam methods. Okay, moment area method, like that various methods are available to calculate the deflections in the beams. Okay, so we have to design the beams in such a way that it should be safe in shear, safe in bending moments, and safe in deflections. Okay, so there are two types of limit state we have to satisfy: limit state of strength, and limit state of serviceability. So shear force and bending moments comes under limit state of strength, whereas deflections comes into limit state of serviceability. Okay, so how to, first of all we are going to discuss all theoretical background. See, this is this pictures, these images will show you the beam. So this is your steel beam. Okay, this is one industrial buildings, and this is the I section beam. Okay, this one is main beam, this is secondary beam. Okay, this is open wave beam. Okay, why it is called as open wave? See, this is these are the two angles. Okay, top and bottoms, and in between there are some uh, lacing has been used, like a rod or flat solid circular rod or a small angle sections. So it is a open wave beam, and this is a solid wave beam. Okay, I sections. Okay, so this is main beam. You observe that depth of this beam will be more, therefore it is called as a main beam, whereas the depth of this beam will be slightly less. Okay, so it is a secondary beam. Okay, it depends. And this is the connected to the column. See, this is connected connections of a beam to column connections. Okay, this part has been removed from our syllabus. Earlier it was there, but now it is removed because vast syllabus was too much vast. Okay, we have to study gantry girder, we have to study blade girders. Okay, beams, compression members, eccentrically loaded, concentrically loaded, then built up beam, lashing, batten. So it is very huge syllabus. And this is the beam in case of a buildings, industrial buildings. These figures show you the bridge. It is a through type bridge. Through. Okay, the different types of classification of bridges are there. Okay, so we are not going to interest that, but it is a through bridge. Why it is called a through bridge? See, the movement it has been allowed through this. Okay, means it is a closed structure and it is a through type truss bridge. Okay, and this is the beam. Okay, has a beam hai na, this is called as a beam. Okay, normally the in case of a the beam which is having the depth more in case of a bridges, because bending moments and shear force will be very high. Okay, so this type of beam, so when depth of the beam exceeds 600 mm, where depth of the beam exceeds 600 mm, we are जे रोल सेक्शन आहेत ना, आय सेक्शन, त्याची मॅक्झिमम डेप्थ अवेलेबल किती आहे? 600 mm पर्यंत. बरोबर, 600 पेक्षा जास्त नसते. जे कंपनीत सेक्शन बनतात ना, त्याची मॅक्झिमम डेप्थ इज अवेलेबल इज 600. बट समटाइम्स इफ वी रिक्वायर डेप्थ ऑफ द बीम मोर दॅन 600, बरोबर, एखाद्या केसमध्ये खूप जास्त बेंडिंग मुवमेंट आहे, तिथं 600 mm ची डेप्थ सफिशियंट नाही, आपल्याला 700, 800, इवन 1000 mm, 1 मीटर, 1 मीटरची डेप्थ लागते. मग इन दॅट केस व्हॉट वी हॅव टू डू, वी हॅव टू फॅब्रिकेट अवर ओन सेक्शन्स. आपल्याला आपल्या स्वतःचा सेक्शन बनवावं लागतं आपल्या रिक्वायरमेंट प्रमाणे, अँड दॅट सेक्शन इज कॉल्ड एज अ प्लेट गर्डर, प्लेट गर्डर ब्रिज. ओके, तर दॅट इज अवर दॅट इज द पार्ट ऑफ अवर युनिट नंबर 6. ओके, युनिट नंबर 6 मध्ये आपल्याला तेच बघायचं. दॅट इज आपलं अगेन अ फ्लेक्चर मेंबर, बट दॅट इज अ प्लेट गर्डर ब्रिज. ओके, जे लोक बारामतीचे असतील ना, यू यू कॅन विजिट दी रिंग रोड दॅट फ्रॉम दॅट सम्यक. ओके, दॅट आरोबी रेल्वे ओव्हर ब्रिज वॉज देअर. ओके, सो ते जे बारामती दौंडची जी रेल्वे गेली आहे त्याच्यावरती जो ब्रिज आहे तिथं स्टीलचे गर्डर्स लावले आहेत बघा, स्टीलचे. ओके, सो दॅट इज अ प्लेट गर्डर ब्रिज. ओके, सो दॅट वॉज दी देअर. सो दिस इज अबाउट युअर. नाव different types of beams means up till now we are familiar with the beams or flexure member or bending moments, but there are some synonymous, there are some words they are synonymously used for the beams. Okay, so which words are there? See, joist. First is the joist. Joist means it is a beam, okay, but a closely spaced beam supporting floor or roofs of a building, but not supporting the other beams. Okay, so closely spaced beam which directly support the floor or roofs, that is called as a joist. Okay, then girder. Just now we have discussed a large beam used for supporting number of joists. It is used in the buildings as well as bridges. Okay, and that is called as a plate girder. In case of a bridges it is called as a plate girders. Okay, a large beam, large means depth of the beam will be very high, used for supporting number of joists. Okay, joist is directly carrying the roof or slab load. Okay, and girder is going to be carry the joist. Okay, then पर्लिन्स काय असतं हे लक्षात ठेवा. पर्लिन्स आर यूज टू कॅरी रूफ लोड इन केस ऑफ अ ट्रसेस. बरोबर. सी अवर इंडस्ट्रियल बिल्डिंग कशी असते आपली. सी आय विल ट्राय टू शो इन 3D. सॉरी, just wait, I will erase it. The understanding will be very important. Our structure is something like this. Okay, industrial building is something like this. It is not to scale. Okay, this is your column, steel column. Okay, this is your roof truss. Different types of truss is there: Hovet truss, Pratt truss, Fink truss. Okay, you can go through any, and if you see the 3D diagrams, it is something like this. Okay, there are number of trusses, and this is called as a purlin. Okay, these are called as a purlins. Means our whatever sheets are there, that GI sheets or roof covering material. Roof covering किती टाइपचे असतात? 2 टाइपचे, either a GI sheets or AC sheets, asbestos cement sheets. Asbestos cement sheets has been obsolete nowadays. No ones are using. People are using GI sheets because GI sheets is very much popular and it is available in different colors nowadays. Okay, so this purlin, so that roof covering is going to be supported on these purlins. Okay, yeah, purlins वरती, and they are connected to the truss by J bolts. Okay, so purlin is a uh, and it is inclinedly loaded. Okay, it is inclinedly loaded, means it is sheets are placed inclinedly on a purlins. Okay, so that load is acting on the purlin will be it will be inclined. That's why we have to resolve that. Okay, so inclined, due to inclined loads we have to resolve into two components, x and y components. So purlin is subjected to biaxial bendings. Okay, we'll discuss in detail in unit 5. Okay, so we just know what is meant by purlin. Purlin is the beams. Purlins are used to carry roof loads in a trusses. Okay, roof load, purlins are subjected to roof loads. Okay, then stringer beam in buildings and beams supporting stair steps. ज्या स्टेअरकेस असतात ना आपल्या, स्टेअरकेसच्या खाली जो बीम्स असतो इन्क्लाइन, त्याला स्ट्रिंजर बीम म्हणतात. ओके, बिल्डिंग्स मध्ये. इन ब्रिजेस लॉजिट्युडनल बीम्स सपोर्टिंग डेक फ्लोर्स अँड सपोर्टेड बाय फ्लोअर बीम्स. म्हणजे हा जो बीम आहे ना, दिस इज स्ट्रिंजर बीम्स. हा इथं डेक फ्लोअर असते, जो स्लॅब असतो ना ब्रिज मध्ये त्याला डेक्स म्हणतात. ओके, डेक स्लॅब, अँड डेक स्लॅब इज रेस्टिंग ऑन द गर्डर्स. ओके, सो इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ स्ट्रिंजर इन केस ऑफ अ ब्रिजेस. Floor beams, A major beam supporting other beams in a buildings, and also transverse beam in a breach floors, that is floor beams. Then spandrel beam, spandrel in a building, a beam on outside perimeter of a floor supporting the exterior wall and outside. आपली जी बिल्डिंग्स असते त्या बिल्डिंग्स मधला जो कॉर्नर एंडचा जो बीम असतो बरोबर, दॅट बीम इज कॉल्ड द स्पॅन्ड्रल बीम. ओके, अँड इट इज सब्जेक्टेड टू एक्सटेरियर वॉल. Normally this spandrel beam is subjected to torsion also. Okay, so see you people uh, study the theory part properly. Okay, तुम्हाला ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी माहीत असायला असणं खूप आवश्यक आहे, because unless and until you don't study this theory properly, you will all not have a confidence. Okay, you will not have the confidence, and for that you have to refer one standard books like SK Dugal, yes, yeah, that Subramanya, okay, or that your Shah and Gore books, MR Shekar, any standard books of design of steel structure. But for every subject you have to read the standard books. Unless and until you don't read the standard books, you will not get the confidence. तुम्ही एकही एक्झाम पास होऊ शकत नाही, लक्षात ठेवा, जोपर्यंत तुम्ही चांगले स्टँडर्ड पुस्तक वाचत नाही तोपर्यंत. You will get a very good pointer, 9.5, 9.4, but that pointer is not going to help you at all. Okay, so then spandrel beam is over girt. What is meant by girt? A horizontal beam spanning the wall columns of an industrial building used to support wall coverings is called as a girt. Okay. आपण पुढच्या युनिटमध्येच बघूयाचं काय आहे तर, ठीक आहे. म्हणजे गर्ट कसा असते तर, जस्ट केप्ट इन माइंड दॅट गर्ट इज अ फ्लेक्चर मेंबर्स. ओके, देन राफ्टर, a roof beam usually supported by purlins. Okay, actually rafter is a compression member. Okay, it is not a flexure members, but sometimes if purlins are not placed at the panel points, your rafter will be subjected to axial force as well as bending moments. Okay, so as a time being, just keep that rafter is a compression member. राफ्टर म्हणजे आपला जो ट्रस असतो ना, ट्रसचा जो वरचा पार्ट, वरचा जो मेन मेंबर्स असतो, दॅट वी कॉल्ड एज राफ्टर. समटाइम वी कॉल्ड एज अ प्रिन्सिपल राफ्टर्स. लिंटेल्स, आपल्या दरवाजाच्या आणि भिंतीच्या वरती एक छोटासा बीम असतो बरोबर, दॅट दिस टाइप ऑफ बीम्स आर यूज टू सपोर्ट द लोड फ्रॉम मेसनरी ओव्हर द ओपनिंग्स. ओके, कुठली ओपनिंग्स असतो आपल्या विंडोची किंवा डोअर्सची किंवा एखादी ओपनिंग्स असेल. ओके, त्याच्यावरती छोटासा बीम असतो, दॅट बीम वी कॉल एज अ लिंटेल बीम्स. ओके, सो दीज आर दी डिफरंट टर्म्स यूज फॉर द बीम्स. ओके, जॉईस्ट असेल, गर्डर असेल, पर्लिन असेल, स्ट्रिंजर, floor beam, spandrel beam, girt, rafter, lintels. Okay, these are the different terminologies used for the beams. Okay, now next point is nature of forces acting on the beams. See, in entire today's sessions I am going to talk about the basic parts of the beams. Okay, basic parts of the beams. In tomorrow's lectures I am going to start our actual steps, step by steps we are going to see. Just solving the example is not going to solve our purpose. First of all, we have to understand its basic theory parts, its failure modes, okay, and enter its background. Okay, once your background is clear, solving the design example will be just manipulations. Okay, that is a clerical job. Everyone can do that. Okay, but understanding is very important. What are the different types of forces? What is meant by beam? What are the different forces acting on the beams? What are the failure modes of the beams? How beam behaves when it is subjected to transverse loads? Okay, all these things we have to study before actual start of the examples. Now, nature of forces acting on the beams. It is assumed that beam is subjected to only transverse loadings. Okay, this is the assumptions. Okay, again, already we have discussed in unit number 3. In case of practically, there is nothing like a pure beam and pure columns. Okay, each element is like a beam column. जरी तो बीम असला तरी तिथं काहीतरी ऍक्शियल लोड येतच. ओके, म्हणजे युअर युअर मेंबर इज सब्जेक्टेड टू vertical load as well as axial load. Okay, whether it is a beam or whether it is a column. Okay, but we are we are assuming that in case of a pure axially loaded column, it is a pure column, means bending moment is neglected, and in case of a beam, it is assumed that only transverse loading is acting and only shear force and bending moments are generated. Axial force is neglected. Okay, that is in small quantity. Next, all the loads and section lie in the plane of symmetry. Okay, it follows that such a beam will primarily subjected to bending. See, primarily subjected to bending means bending moments were to determines, accompanied by shear. Okay, shear force were to determines in the loading plane with no external torsion and axial force. Okay, no axial, primarily subjected to bending moment, shear force, and axial force and torsion is there, but that we are going to be neglected. Okay, then the problem of torsion cannot be completely avoided in a beam even if the shape of beam is symmetrical and loads are in plane of the symmetry. म्हणजे तिथं torsion काही ना काही येणारच आहे. Okay, that is not completely avoided. Okay, the reasons is the instability caused by the compressive stresses. Such instability is called as a lateral buckling. Okay, when it is involving only local components of a beam, it is called as a local buckling. म्हणजे आपला जो आय सेक्शन्स आहे, आय सेक्शन्स मध्ये if that flange or wave is going to be buckled locally without application of any load, that is called as a local bucklings. Okay, and due to that uh, uh, due to improper lateral supports, that is called as a lateral buckling. We will discuss this in detail, what is meant by lateral buckling. Okay, local buckling is a function of width to thickness ratio. So table number, what is table number 2 is there, b by tf ratio. We have I think we have classified that section in case of a unit number 3, where whether it is a plastic section, compact section, or semi compact sections. Okay, for the flange and wave, which ratio we have taken, b by tf. Okay, for flange, and for wave, d by tw. Okay, table number 12 of is 800 2007. Okay, so uh, if we give this check, our section satisfy this check, and it is, if it is plastic or compact section or semi compact section, this local buckling has been prevented. Okay, see the why we are classifying that section with whether it is a plastic, compact, or semi compact. Okay, and that has been with that check has been given by width to thickness ratio. Okay, so if our width to thickness ratio is lies within the permissible limit of plastic, compact, and semi compact, this local buckling has been eliminated. Local buckling. Okay, local buckling elimination is very important, because if local buckling occurs, local buckling काय म्हणजे, local buckling means failure of the sections before application of the load. Failure of the section before application of the load. Okay, if our section fails before application of the load, means it is not going to be reached to its ultimate strength, full capacity is not going to reach. Okay, so that's why this check is very important. Width to thickness ratio, table number 2 of is 800 2007. Now coming to modes of failures. Yes, now it is application parts of your mechanics of structures. You have knowledge of bending moments, you have knowledge of shear force, you have detections. Now why in strength of material, you have not asked that question yourself, why I am studying bending moment, shear force, deflections. Okay, now that design comes into pictures. Okay, so primary mode of failures of beams are as follows. Bending failures, when there is a excessive bending. Okay, bending moment खूप जास्त असेल, your beam is going to be failed. Second criteria of failure, your beam is going to be failed by shear criteria. Okay, shear failure, the shear force खूप जास्त असेल तर. And third is the deflection failure. Okay, excessive deflection नसायला पाहिजे. Okay, we have to carefully handle these three criteria when you are going to design the beams. Okay, these are the primary modes of failures. So there are some secondary modes of failures also. Okay, like web buckling, web crippling as there. Okay, that we are going to discuss. Okay, web is going to be failed, that we call as web buckling. Some web crippling part is there. Okay, uh, bending failure generally occurs due to crushing of compression flange, fracture of tension flange of beam. Okay, shear failures due to buckling of a wave, then deflections. Okay, now coming to types of steel sections. Okay, हे तीन failure लक्षात ठेवा. Now coming to types of steel sections, similar to like of a tension member or compression member. आपण बघितलं ना, टेन्शन मेंबर साठी वी आर युजिंग अँगल सेक्शन्स, सिंगल अँगल सेक्शन, डबल अँगल सेक्शन्स. ओके, channel sections, tubular sections, and many more. Okay, similar to like that, for the beams, what are the sections are applicables we have to use, that's we have to discuss. Okay, the most common section is the I section. Okay, most common is the I sections. This is the castellated beams. Okay, actually this is the not in our syllabus, but it is a, since it is a beam parts, we have to castellated beams means I section is there. See, this is the I beam. We have to keep some marking like this, and we have to cut this beam in this fashion. Okay, now after cutting these fashions, what will happen, these beams has been divided into these two parts. Okay, now this part we have to place over here. Okay, like this. So see, this part comes over here, it is going like this, and after that we have to join these two parts, welding. Okay, so any क्या होता है, if we are going to fabricate this beam by this, the depth of this section is going to be increased. याची depth वाढते बीमची, it becomes light in weight, and here we are getting the opening for the placement of any AC pipes or any electric pipe in between that. Okay, so such uh, options is not available in case of a solid wave beam. Okay, our ISMB. So this is one another one advanced topic of a steel structures. Okay, actually it is a topic of my PhD. Okay, I did my PhD on this castellated beams, and if you observe that many of my project students, okay, have published the papers on this analysis of this castellated beam by using the various softwares. Okay, like ANSYS or Abacus. Okay, so this is the one advanced. Okay, we are not going, just keep the name what is meant by castellated beams. Okay, फक्त नाव लक्षात असू द्या, it is not in our syllabus. Then consideration in the design of beams, uh, channel section, T sections we are not going to be used. Okay, because they are having some limitations. The I sections is the most popular sections. Now see, this is the applications of your bending equations. Okay, your bending equation is bending formula, flexure formula, M by I is equal to sigma by Y. Now what is meant by that? Okay, now therefore M is equal to sigma by Y into I. Okay, is equal to sigma into I divided by Y. I divided by, and now what is meant by I divided by Y? The ratio of moment of inertia to most extreme fiber distance. Okay, it is called as a term that we call as the section modulus. Okay, therefore M is equal to sigma into Z. M is equal to sigma into Z. This is the, okay, we called as it as a MD, design bending strength, moment of resistance. MD is equal to sigma into Z. Okay, and it is for the safe design of it, it must be more than your bending moments. Okay, bending moments, bending moments, moment of resistance means that is the section capacity of your beam section. Okay, and that should be more than the external bending moments. Okay, external bending moment means this is action, bending moment is the action. Okay, that is the bending moment created due to external loading, and this is the reactions. Okay, MD is the reactions. uh, then these are the purlins, linters, castellated beams we have discussed. Design criteria. Okay, based on deflections, based on stress due to bending, that is based on bending moment criteria, and based on shear criteria. We have to satisfy these three criteria. Our beam should be safe in deflection, safe in bending, and safe in shears. Okay, so deflection criteria, already you have discussed the that uh, how to calculate the deflections. Deflections depends upon various various criteria, like the span of the beam, moment of inertia, distribution of load, whether it is a point load or uniformly distributed load, modulus of elasticity, and support conditions. आता हे कशावर डिपेंड करते, you have to use that formula. if a simply supported beam subjected to point load at center, काय होता फॉर्म्युला, WL cube divided by 48 EI, 48 EI. So this is the formula for point load at center, simply supported beam. If it is a UDL, then your formula become 5 WL4 divided by 384 EI. Simply supported beam subjected to uniformly distributed load. Okay. So if you observe this formulae, the on name is what are the different factors on which depletion of the beam is depends. Okay. So this is W means point load. This is W means uniformly distributed load. So your deflection depends upon the distribution of load, whether it is a point load or UDL. L cube L4 means span of the beam. बीमचा स्पॅन किती आहे तुमचा त्याच्यावरती डिपेंड करेल. E is the Young's modulus, that is the material property. Okay, modulus of elasticity is responsible for the your deflection. I is the geometrical property, means moment of inertia. Okay, moment of inertia means geometrical property. Okay, and finally support conditions. Support condition. These are the for this formula is for simply supported case. When you go for the fixed beam, it is has been some factors comes here because this deflection is going to be reduced. Fixed beam असेल तर deflection कमी होईल ना. So some additional factor has been multiplied over here. So support conditions, whether your beam is simply supported, fixed, or any other boundary conditions. So these are the factors responsible for the deflections. These are the formulas given. Simply supported beam subjected to UDL 5 WL4 upon 384 EI. Cantilever beam WL4 UDL WL4 upon 8 EI. Simply supported beam subjected to point load at center WL cube by 48 EI. Cantilever beam subjected to point load at three ends WL cube by 3 EI. Then if simply supported beam subjected to 2 point loads, so these factors comes into 23 by 384. Okay, fixed beam 1 divided by 384 EI. Fixed beam subjected to UDL. Simply supported beam subjected to 3 points load. So these factors you have to multiply 19 divided by 384. Then fixed beam with triangular loadings. Okay, this factor is there. So this is fixed beam with point load at center. One means your formula is the 1 by 92 into WL cube divided by EI. So 1 by 192 means if you do that for 192 by 48, so I think it is 4 times less deflection for fixed beam subjected to point load at center, subjected to simply supported beam point load at centers. Okay, this comparison you have to do. Okay, observe karate vyavasthit. This is the eccentric. Okay, now whatever deflection formula we have discussed, these are the actual deflection in the beam. These are the actual deflection in the beam. Okay, now you have to calculate the permissible deflection. Permissible deflection. So permissible deflection you are going to calculate from table number. Just wait, I will open IS code. Table number 6. Table number 6. 6 or 5. Table number 6. Yes. Deflection limits. These are the deflection limits. Okay. See, table number 6. These are the permissible deflections. Permissible deflections. Okay. Or maximum allowable deflections. Okay. So whatever deflections you have calculated by using that formula, that deflection must be less than this. Must be less than this. Okay. The deflection of a member shall not be such that as to impair the strength or efficiency of the structure and lead to the finishings. Generally, the maximum deflections should not exceed the limit recommended by IS 800 2007 in table number 6. Table number 6. Okay, table number 6. Okay, these are the different values are there. Okay, we are going to discuss these values when we are going to solve the design examples. Okay, span by 150 का है, span by 180 का है. Okay, it depends upon the again design type, loads, then member, the supporting conditions. Okay, supporting system and maximum limits. Now effective length for lateral torsional buckling. The lateral torsional buckling काय असते, that's, see, these are my own hand notes. Okay, and this copy I have uploaded on your Google Classroom. Okay, you refer this, very good notes is this. I have covered all parts. Okay, see, this is your lecture formula. Okay, now coming to the types of beams. Okay, as a depending upon the support conditions, okay, depending upon the restraint, beam has been classified as restrained beam and unrestrained beam. ओके, रिस्ट्रेन अँड अनरिस्ट्रेन. आता रिस्ट्रेन कशाला म्हणायचं आणि अनरिस्ट्रेन कशाला म्हणायचं? इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज अ, रिस्ट्रेनला म्हणतात लॅटरली सपोर्टेड बीम्स अँड अनरिस्ट्रेनला म्हणतात लॅटरली अनसपोर्टेड बीम. आपला बीम कसा असतो बघा, हा दिस इज वन क्रॉस सेक्शन्स. ओके, see this is m by I sigma by y is equal to E by R. This is your Bernoulli's equation of bendings. M is the action, bending moments, okay, due to external loadings. I is the sectional property that we have to suggest, okay, sigma by y. Therefore M is equal to sigma into I by y is equal to sigma into Z. This is the moment of resistance, okay, moment of resistance. It is more than M, bending moments. Okay, now how bending, how beam is going to resist the external bending moments. Okay, how beam is going to resist the external bending moments. See, this is your flexure theory. Okay, this diagram I think you have studied in case of a bending stress distribution diagrams. Okay, when a simply supported beam subjected to external UDL or external loads, it is going to be deflect like this. Ha sir, बरोबर. It is, see, this is your cross sections and it is going to be deflect like this. So your top part is under compression and bottom under tensions. So see, it is, these are the your extra top fibers. It is going to be, see, it is compression, it is going like this. It is tension, it is going like this. So each fiber as is contributing for some load. Okay, so his stress ahead and each fiber having some area. Okay, so this A1 into sigma BC1 या लेवलचा स्ट्रेस आणि तिचा एरिया, दॅट विल बी दी एरिया इंटू स्ट्रेस मध्ये काय फोर्स होतं. बरोबर, याचा जर रिझल्टंट फोर्स घेतला असा, दिस इज लाईक दिस. ओके, अँड इट इज लाईक दिस. सो हा बिलो दिस इज टेन्शन फोर्स अँड अबोव दिस इज कॉम्प्रेशन फोर्स. ओके, सो टू वरचा आणि खालचा एरिया सारखा आहे. बरोबर, बिकॉज दिस इज d/2 अँड बिलो देर इज अ d/2. सो these are the two equal forces, equal in magnitude, opposite in directions and separated by some distance. Okay, so this is going to be create, this is called as a, so this is your compression force, this is your tension force. Okay, and these are separated by some distance. Okay, and it is equal in magnitude, opposite in directions, so therefore it is going to be create a couple. Okay, and this is called as your moment of resistance. Okay, moment of resistance. This is it. This is your axial tension diagram. This is your compression diagram. This is bending stress. Okay, stress diagram. This is force diagram. Okay, force diagram. And MR is equal to, moment of resistance is equal to F into X bar, force into X bar. हे बघा, हे मी इथं थोडंसं बायफर्केट करून दाखवलं आहे. दिस इज युअर न्यूट्रल ॲक्सिस. अबोव देर इज अ कॉम्प्रेशन, बिलो देर इज अ टेन्शन. ओके, सो इट इज गोइंग टू बी कॉम्प्रेस this beam. Okay, finer the layer, more the accuracy. Your beam is going to be divided into small fiber like this. Okay, like this. This is d/2. It is acting as a axial tension and compressions. Okay, axial tension and compression. So this is for top part, this is for bottom parts. Then forces in a member produces due to transverse loading. Now buckling will be occur. Now what is mean by lateral buckling ते मी डिस्कस करतो थोडा वेळ. ओके, जस्ट वेट. If the beam is prevented, first of all we are going to discuss now what is mean by lateral buckling. Okay, lateral buckling. See, when our beam is subjected to some external loading, just wait, I will draw the figure. This is a rectangular beam. It is subjected to external loading. When this load is going to be increased, it is continuously increasing. Okay, our beam is going to be deflect like this. Barabar, it is going to be deflect like this. So first of all, when that deflection is an in plane deflection, in plane. Okay, vertical deflections. But one stage will come, one situation will come when that deflection, vertical deflection reaches to its maximum value. When that vertical deflection reaches to its maximum value, our beam is going to be start deflecting in a lateral directions. Okay, and that beam, when it deflects in lateral directions, if that beam is not properly providing some lateral restraint, त्याला जर आपण काहीतरी लॅटरल रिस्ट्रेंट प्रोव्हाइड नसतील केले, तर इट इज गोइंग टू बी डिफ्लेक्ट इन अ लॅटरल डायरेक्शन्स, मीन्स दॅट इज आउट ऑफ प्लेन डिफ्लेक्शन्स कम्स टू पिक्चर. दोन दोन गोष्टी बोलत आहे मी, बघा काय, वन इज इन प्लेन डिफ्लेक्शन, वन इज आउट ऑफ प्लेन डिफ्लेक्शन्स. इन प्लेन डिफ्लेक्शन्स मीन्स द डिफ्लेक्शन इन अ व्हर्टिकल डायरेक्शन्स. ओके, म्हणजे जर तुमची फॉर एक्झाम्पल बघा, तुमचा एक्स ऍक्सिस लॉजिट्युडनल आहे, वाय ऍक्सिस व्हर्टिकल आहे आणि झेड ऍक्सिस लॅटरल आहे, बरोबर. मग इन प्लेन डिफ्लेक्शन कुठलं झालं, व्हर्टिकल वाय ऍक्सिसला होईल तुमचं, बरोबर. मग जेव्हा वाय ऍक्सिसचं डिफ्लेक्शन मॅक्झिमम रीच होते आणि तुमच्या बीमला जर लॅटरल डायरेक्शनली सपोर्ट नसतील, आफ्टर रिचिंग द मॅक्झिमम व्हॅल्यू ऑफ इन प्लेन डिफ्लेक्शन इन वाय डायरेक्शन्स, युअर बीम इज गोइंग टू बी डिफ्लेक्ट इन झेड डायरेक्शन्स. ओके, मीन्स दॅट इज द आउट ऑफ प्लेन डिफ्लेक्शन्स. Okay, that will be very small in quantity, but that out of plane deflections is responsible to twist your cross section of the beam. Your beam is going to be rotate at the cross sections like this. Okay, ha baga, initially it is like this, it is going to be, this is vertical deflection, u is the vertical deflection, it is called as the in plane deflections. When it reaches to its maximum value, your beam is going to be deflect out of planes. Okay, there is v deflections. Okay, and when when it is having some magnitude v deflections, our cross section of the beam is going to be rotate. See, this is the original centroidal axis. Now when our section rotates, this is the next centroidal axis, and this is your phi, angle of twist. Okay, and it is called, after that, when our beam is subjected to twisting moment, torsion, and when it experiences the torsion, it is going to be buckle, and this phenomena is called as a lateral torsional buckling. Lateral म्हणजे बघा, first of all, there is a lateral deflections. Lateral deflection is responsible to create some torsion, so torsion comes into picture, and after lateral deflections and torsion, beam is going to be buckle means it is going to be fail. Okay, this is happening when our beam is not having proper lateral restraint. लॅटरल डायरेक्शन जे असते ना, झेड डायरेक्शन, त्या साईडने त्याला आपण लॅटरल सपोर्ट प्रोव्हाइड नाही केलाय. मग आता हा लॅटरल सपोर्ट कसा प्रोव्हाइड करायचा, इन व्हॉट फॉर्म वी हॅव टू प्रोव्हाइड. सी, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आय एम गोइंग टू रीड दिस थेरी पार्ट्स. ओके, इफ बीम प्रिव्हेंटेड फ्रॉम लॅटरल बकलिंग, प्रिव्हेंट केलाय हा, they are restrained beam, or more precisely laterally restrained beam. बघा काय, if beam prevented from lateral buckling, they are restrained beam, or more precisely laterally restrained beam. ओके, म्हणजे त्याला झेड डायरेक्शन त्याला काहीतरी सपोर्ट प्रोव्हाइड केलेला असेल, बरोबर. बीम्स नॉट रिस्ट्रेन इन लॅटरल डायरेक्शन्स, beams not restrained in lateral directions, they are called as a laterally unrestrained beams. Okay, these phenomena occur more in case of a steel member as compared to RCC member. हे जे असतं ना, लॅटरली सपोर्टेड, लॅटरली अनसपोर्टेड, हे स्टील बीम मध्ये ह्या गोष्टी होतात. हा फेल्युअर जो मोड्स आहे ना, हा आरसीसी मेंबर मध्ये होत नाही, हा स्टील मध्ये होते. द रिझन इज दॅट इन केस ऑफ अ स्टील स्ट्रक्चर वी आर युझिंग आय सेक्शन फॉर द बीम. Okay, and if you observe the value of moment of inertia for I section, Ixx and Iyy, Ixx will be very too much compared to Iyy. Iyy हा खूप कमी असतो, बरोबर. त्याच्यामुळे इट इज गोइंग टू बी हेल अबाउट वाय ऍक्सिस. तसंच रेक्टँग्युलर बीम मध्ये ते होत नाही आहे. ठीक आहे, रिझन्स, त्याचे कारण काय आहेत. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ऑन अ वीकर प्लेन इज व्हेरी लेस. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ऑन अ विकर प्लेन इज व्हेरी लेस कम्पेअर टू दॅट ऑफ ऑन मेजर प्लेन. म्हणजे विकर प्लेन म्हणजे कोणती, वाय ऍक्सिस. वाय ऍक्सिसचा मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया हा खूप कमी असतो. आय विल शो यू. सी DSS, just see the steel table. Whether is my steel table? Yes. Now I sections. Just observe one section property. I section. See, this is I section. ISJB 150. It's Ixx and Iyy. See, this is Ixx and this is Iyy. See, Ixx is 322.1 into 10 to the power 4 and Iyy is 9.2 into 10 to the power 4. म्हणजे बघा 322 divided by 9.2 means it is very less. Iyy is very less compared to Ixx, and that is the reason why it is going to be fail in lateral directions about y axis. Okay, this is one thing. Next, coefficient of like critical moment beyond which beam buckles based on different parameters. Okay, these are the different parameters. Now you are that oh, we have discussed that formula. MD is equal to beta b zp into fbd, लॅटरली सपोर्टेड आणि लॅटरली अनसपोर्टेड बीम कॉलम मध्ये जो एफबीडी आपण काढला होता, एफबीडी बेस फ्रॉम टेबल नंबर 13A अँड 14 FCRB, आणि ते इक्वेशन आता पिक्चर मध्ये आलं आहे ऍक्च्युली. ठीक आहे, सी बेस ऑन डिफरंट पॅरामीटर्स कॅल्क्युलेटेड बेस ऑन लॅटरल टॉर्शनल फ्लेक्चरल बकलिंग्स. इनिशियली फ्लेक्चर स्टार्ट, सुरुवातीला काय होते, बेंड बीम आपला बेंड होते बरोबर, दॅट विल कॉजेस अ बकलिंग विच टुगेदर क्रिएट्स अ टॉर्शन्स. बकलिंगच्या सोबत टॉर्शन मध्ये येतं. ओके, so that's why we have to, when we are going to design any structure, any beam, we have to be kept about its sizes. Okay, त्याची साईज प्रॉपर असली पाहिजे. सो एक्झाम्पल बीम ऑफ साईज 100 mm by 1 meter असं कधी नसू शकते. 100 mm म्हणजे खूप झालं, 1 meter म्हणजे काय झालं, त्याची डेप्थ 100 mm विड्थ आणि 100 meter डेप्थ, नॉट पॉसिबल. ओके, lateral stability of is not properly. Okay, so there is a one separate subject, theory of elastic stability. Theory of elastic stability in case of a MTech structural engineering. Okay, if you pursue your MTech degree in case of a structural engineering, you have to study this subject, theory of elastic stability. तिथं याचा खूप डिटेल स्टडी येणार आहे. ओके, you refer any books by theory of stability by Timoshenko or Ashwini Kumars. Then which parameters are responsible? See, don't worry, I am discussing the theoretical backgrounds. Problems will be very simple. Okay, त्याच्यामुळे don't be panics. तुम्हाला I can understand you are slightly having difficulty, you are not getting many of things whatever I am discussing. Okay, now lateral buckling is depends on 4 parameters. कुठले parameters आहे? LLT, just wait for 10 minutes. Okay, I will wind up within 10 minutes. LLT, effective length of compression flange. Okay, that is distance between the 2 points of lateral supports. Effective length of compression flange, this table number 15. Effective length of lateral torsional buckling, table number 15. Then R minimum radius of gyrations. These all steps we have already carried out in case of unit number 3. Just recall, तिथं त्याच्यामुळे मी जास्त एक्सप्लेन केलं नव्हतं प्रॉब्लेम. ओके, इफेक्टिव्ह लेंथ LLT. Table number 10, that 11 is different, that is for compression member. Effective length of compression member. Now it is effective length of a beams compression flange. आपला जो बीम आहे ना, बीमच्या दोन फ्लॅंज आहे, वन इज टेन्शन झोन, वन इज कॉम्प्रेशन झोन, वन इज कॉम्प्रेशन फ्लॅंज, वन इज टेन्शन फ्लॅंज. सो वी हॅव टू, टेन्शनला प्रॉब्लेम नाही आहे. टेन्शन मध्ये काय, स्टील इज व्हेरी गुड इन टेन्शन, सो नो नीड टू वरी अबाउट टेन्शन. जस्ट वी हॅव टू टेक केअर ऑफ द कॉम्प्रेशन फ्लॅंज. ओके, सो द कॉम्प्रेशन फ्लॅंजची इफेक्टिव्ह लेंथ आणि ते टेबल नंबर 15 देते आपल्याला बरोबर. आर मिनिमम रेडियस ऑफ गायरेशन ऑफ द क्रॉस सेक्शन, जो आपण सेक्शन सिलेक्ट करू त्याचा मिनिमम रेडियस ऑफ गायरेशन RYY. HF, सेंट्रोइडल डिस्टन्स ऑफ टॉप फ्लॅंज अँड बॉटम फ्लॅंज. HF ऑलरेडी काढलाय आपण बरोबर. जेवढा सेक्शन असेल, सपोज ISMB 600, तर ISMB 600 मायनस त्याची थिकनेस ऑफ फ्लॅंज मायनस करा, यू विल गेट HF. थिकनेस ऑफ फ्लॅंज TF, thickness of compression flange. Okay, then calculate permissible bending stress FCRB. FCRB is equal to Z into FCRB. FCRB we can also calculate from table number 14. Okay, बघा हा टेबल नंबर 14 आपण ऑलरेडी डिस्कस केला होता. 14 and 13. 13 FBD साठी होता, 14 FCRB साठी होता. दिस इज 13A FBD. ओके, अल्फा LT 0.21 आणि टेबल 13B अल्फा LT 0.49. आपण 13A यूज केला होता आणि 14 इज फॉर FCRB, क्रिटिकल स्ट्रेस. ओके, देन these are the some alternatives when M less than MCR. okay, if not we have two solutions. Decrease the action म्हणजे लोड कमी करा, ते पॉसिबल नाही आहे. लोड कमी करणं आपल्या हातात नाही आहे. Increase the dimensions, we have to increase the sections. IS 800 2007, page number 20, table number 13. For compression flange of a beam against lateral buckling, त्याचा स्लेंडरनेस रेशो जो आहे ना, टेबल नंबर 3 मध्ये आपल्याला चेक द्यावा लागतो स्लेंडरनेस रेशोचा. टेबल नंबर 3 is talking about maximum permissible slenderness ratio. Now we are discussing beam, so we have to talk about beam. Yes, compression flange of a beam 300. Compression flange of a beam is 300. हे कधी कधी यूज होते, केव्हा होते ते आपण सांगू. ठीक आहे. When we are going to discuss the problem, the LLT divided by R minimum less than 300. Okay. And then so this is about the basic of that. Okay. Now in tomorrow's class, where I am going to discuss about the more specifically. Now our that two formulae, दोन फॉर्म्युले आपण बघितले ना. MD is equal to beta B ZP Fy by gamma M naught, and this is for laterally supported, and for laterally unsupported MD is equal to beta B ZP and FBT. Okay. So next class I am going to talk about laterally restrained beam. Okay. Laterally restrained beam, and after that means we are going to discuss this equation now. Okay. And after that, when we complete laterally restrained beam, after that we are going to talk about laterally unrestrained beam. बरोबर. लॅटरली अनरिस्ट्रेन बीम. मग तिचं इक्वेशन काय असेल आपलं, बीटा बी ZP, आणि instead of this Fy your FBD comes. And how to calculate FBD? FBD there are equations given by the IS code, but that equations are very much lengthy. Okay, so we are taking the help of table number 13 and 14. 14 for FCRB, critical stress, and 13 for FBD, design bending compressive stress.